It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Do Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you yesterday? Yesterday was Wow Wednesday, and we started off with our girlfriend Vivian and her socially conscious segment, and she talked about the new driving law. Well, I don't know if it's a driving law, a bike law called Idaho Stop, and it's requiring that drivers pay a little more attention to our cyclists. Why? Because they no longer have to stop at a stop sign. Yes, they are going to treat that stop sign like a yield sign. Slow down, then you can go ahead and proceed. And that means that everybody's got to keep a little extra eye on that road, because if you don't, somebody gonna get hit, whether it's a pedestrian, a cyclist. We don't know what's gonna happen, but we do know that means that you're gonna have to pay a little more attention to our cyclists, because everybody's already in a rush and nobody's stopping. Neither the cars are stopping to the red stop sign either. They're treating it like a yield sign as well. So we're in trouble, y'all. We are in trouble. We're not very hopeful here on this Due Time that's really going to be an answer to our issue. Okay, so we'll know where this came from. We'll know whose brilliant idea this was, but we're going to see how well this works. Oh, we talked about the DeWitt Clinton High School principal, who is number one in the state of New York, because he has turned that 48% graduation percentile all the way to 98%. Do you know that means that almost every single student in that graduating class is graduating? Yo, big ups to him. And we're giving God thanks for principals like him, hoping that more will strive to be, a little more attentive, a little more hardworking, and get the job done and get these kids out of high school, focused on their life, focused on college. Big ups to you, and in the Bronx, New York at that. So that's a good thing. Prison system. They about to let the inmates out who's 110 days short. Why? Because of the short staff issue. Yeah, they got a staffing problem. So what they're doing is they're letting out anyone who does not have a class 1 or class B or class A or class B offense. If you are not in there for drugs, you're not in there for a sexual offense. And as Shanti said yesterday, well, then who else is left? Who's left to be able to stay up in there? The only people who got 110 days left are the short timers who you about to let up out of there. And let's see how this works, because if they're in there and it's time for them to come out soon, then guess what? They might as well go ahead and stay up in there and do their time and come out, and nobody has to worry about them. And hopefully them extra 110 days just might be the deciding factor as to whether they're going to come out here and be a productive citizen or not. What you think? That's what we thinking. All right. And our wow story. Vivian always got a real wow story for us. Well, there is an illegal who came here to help his brother with a kidney transplant. And we don't know what date is scheduled for, but he's been here taking care of his brother. Has been out of trouble, no trouble at all. And unfortunately, he got snatched up. He got snatched up specifically for deportation. And now there's a concern that his brother will not get that transplant. Well, if they detain him and then send him back, the brother will not get the transplant. Well, listen, let him stay here, get the transplant, and then send him back. You know, if you're worried about him being here illegally, as with others that are here illegally, then ain't nothing to worry about. Let him stay here long enough to get that transplant for his brother. Let him stay here long enough to get recovery. Yeah, we don't want to be pushing him out the door, and then he can't get that health care he needs when he goes back to his country. And at that point, then let him go back. But we definitely don't want to cut anything short that he can do to be a blessing to his brother, especially if he's been here and he's underneath the radar. We don't want to be pushing him out the door unnecessarily. Right? Right. So those were just the things we talked about yesterday. We talked about some other stuff yesterday, but those were the highlights of what we talked about yesterday. And thanking God that we are here today for Therapeutic Thursday. Yeah, we had a little bit of scare up in the house this morning, but you know what? God is amazing because we are okay. And we could not start the show if we were not secure that we were safe. So giving God thanks that you see Pastor Steph, you'll see Shantice, you'll see our other due time crew, which means that everybody is safe and sound, and giving God thanks for him keeping us, giving thanks for him keeping us. So I'm going to go ahead and send you get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody that it's due time with Pastor Steph is on, and whatever you do, don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
Time when black women were denied opportunities in medicine, one woman broke barriers and became America's first black registered nurse. This is the story of Mary Eliza Mahoney. Born in 1845 in Boston to freed black parents, Mary grew up with a dream to become a nurse. But in the racist America of the 1800s, black women weren't welcome in medical schools. Determined to learn, she took a job at the New England Hospital for Women and Children, where she worked as a cook, cleaner, and a nurse's aide. Anything to get close to medicine. After 15 years of hard work, Mary was finally accepted into the hospital's nursing program, one of the toughest in the country. Out of 42 students, only 4 graduated, and Mary was the first black woman in America to earn a nursing license in 1879. Even with her credentials, hospitals refused to hire her because she was black. Instead of giving up, she became a private nurse, caring for wealthy families who valued her skill and compassion. She knew black nurses needed a voice. So in 1908, she co-founded the National Association of Colored Graduate Nurses, fighting for equality in the profession. Mary paved the way for black nurses everywhere. Today, the Mary Mahoney Awards honors nurses who fight for racial equality in healthcare. Because of Mary, thousands of black nurses followed in her footsteps, proving that black women belonged in medicine.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, and it is Therapeutic Thursday. Giving God thanks that we are here today. Again, like I said, sorry for the delay this morning. Had a little bit of unexpected occurrence. Had to make sure that we were all safe, and giving God thanks for his protective care and covering. Aren't you glad that, we're all good, and we're grateful that you are good as well? And please make sure you check in with Pastor Steph so we can say good morning, okay? Our first check-in is from our boy Terrence. Hey, Terrence, and we all want to say happy birthday to Terrence. Make sure you put that in the chat room, all righty? Just like y'all put in happy birthday to our girl Tamika last week. Make sure you say happy birthday to Terrence. And we want to wish Miss Charlene a happy get well. Hope you're feeling better. And we are looking forward to you saying good morning to us real soon. Okay. So giving God thanks for Terrence's birthday and him spending time with us. We also got a birthday yesterday, but he was not on with us. So when he comes on next week, God spares, we got to give a nice hearty happy birthday to Pastor Vinny. Yes. Pastor Vinny and Pastor Brenda from Tuesdays. Yeah, that Pastor Vinny. So we are so grateful for the birthdays and God's sparing each of these individuals another year, a safe year. You can say happy. May not be what you want it to be, but you can say happy because we are here together. Saying good morning to our girl Ketty. Good morning, Ketty. Let's say good morning to our boy Serge. Good morning, Serge. Good morning to our lady Tamika. We got a check-in from our health coach Athena. Good morning, Athena. Thank you for joining us. We have a good morning to our ladies who keep us running in the back. Yep, if it were not for our ladies, we would not have Facebook Live or YouTube Live. So let's say good morning to our girl Shantice. Hey, Shantice, and none other than our girl Anika. Hey, Anika, thank you so much, ladies, for keeping us humming in the background. We got to check in from our Pastor KL. Hey, Pastor KL. All righty. So, feeling that love this morning, Terrence? Yeah. Didn't think you'd get that, huh? Well, let's go directly to our news since we got to try to catch up with some stuff because I do have some stuff that we need to talk about this morning. It's not good news either. These people have lost their mind and they are going, frankly, buck wild. We got to check in from our girl, Viv. Good morning, Vivian. Good morning. Thank you for checking in with us. Yeah, these people have lost their minds. What's going on? And we're going to start with a really sad story. And, I definitely want to talk about this one this morning because we're always talking about our young people and what do we do with them? It's been a few years now that they had to take death row as well as life sentences off the table for our children. Yeah, they had actually used to at one point sentence our children to death row as well as life sentences for anyone who committed a heinous crime. And if we're not talking about heinous today, we're not talking about heinous at all. There's a 14-year-old girl who doesn't have a life anymore. They say there's a 14-year-old girl who was in Texas who was gunned down by her classmate. Somehow or another, this Anaya Zachary was on the bus with a young boy, and again, they're protecting him. They're not saying his name. Yo, you put a gun up to somebody, who cares about your anonymity? You out there. You weren't too shy to pull out a gun. So, you need to be exposed. Somehow or another, there was some level of altercation, verbal altercation on the bus ride home, or was it to school? Yeah, they said that they were on the bus. They got into a verbal dispute. He went home, put on all black, put on a black mask, and came back and called her name and shot her 4 times. 2 while she was standing, 2 while she was on the ground. And he told her, he said, I'm gonna kill you today. He told her, he said, I'm gonna kill you today. That's it. That's it. We don't know who made him mad. We don't know who got on his nerves. We don't know who ruffled his feathers, rattled his cage. But little Anaya Zachary, she got the brunt of it. And he did it in a park where there were other people there, to the degree of another woman who was there with a young child had to be taken to the emergency room because the bystander had some level of fragments from those fired rounds that injured her. Thank God that the child she was holding was not injured. But here's my question. What do we do with him? As far as you're concerned, I need my due time viewers to say, what do we do with this little punk? Because that's all he is. I'm going to be talking to the due time crew about him. But yeah, he's a menace to society at 14 years old. He threatened, he said he was going to kill her, went home. See, this is why I can't get with this. They say he went home. Let me run past what he did again. He went home, put on all black, put on a black mask, got the gun, came back and killed her as he had threatened her. Yo, and I'm gonna worry about whether you're anonymous or not. No, I don't think so. You should be treated as the punk you are. So I'm dying to hear what you all have to say. And if you're saying go to jail, tell me how many years you think he should get, because he's probably going to do some time. But the question is, how much time? Yeah. How much time are they going to give him? Remember now, they do not give children life sentences anymore. They can only get a certain amount of time and then they have to be released. Okay. Remember the kid who shot the detective, the 26-year-old detective? Yeah, or 36-year-old detective, yeah. So, oh Lord have mercy. All right, what else are we talking about this morning? We got another murder here, if I can. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. So, there's a man who was married to this woman in Georgia. She's been sentenced to life in prison because, come to find out, she had been poisoning her husband with a cocktail that contained some antifreeze. Yes, they say that Tori Frederick was found guilty after a 2-year investigation into her husband Phil's death in September of 2001, that he died from ethylene glycol poisoning, which is that substance that's found in antifreeze. He had gone to the emergency room and they became suspicious of his illness and suspected poisoning. And of course, the wife is there and she's given all this explanation as to, what she believes it is. And they were becoming real suspicious because of the symptoms and things that he showed up with. And sure enough, after doing an autopsy, they found that he had been poisoned over time. Now, here's the thing. They initially thought, she told them that she believed he committed suicide. Yeah. Even had the 2 children involved in the questioning and things like that. Yeah. But after they did their due diligence, and again, the defense was arguing that it was suicide. And the kids were, again, they had been questioned because the son wasn't forthcoming. He wasn't honest initially. And he was a little afraid, they said, and was kind of saying what he thought that they wanted to hear. But after pushing and pushing and pushing, come to find out that they did find that Tori, the wife, had been poisoning her husband, and another death on the hands of just a regular person. They didn't say that, she was being abused. She didn't claim that anything was going on. He wasn't cheating or anything like that. Because remember now, she's trying to make people believe that he committed suicide. Well, yeah, suicide was when he married her. That's what happened. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. All righty. Now, okay, so talk about people giving up their lives. You've got these two dumb rookie cops here in Queens, New York, who they just gave up their whole little life. I mean, how dumb. They are young. They're 24 and 26 years old. And the bottom line is, they've been talking for quite some time about this prostitution that's going on over on Roosevelt Avenue. Yeah, with all these brothels and things like that. And they are concerned that they've been closing a lot of the brothels. They've been arresting a lot of people, a lot of the women, but they're not keeping them like that. They're not arresting them to jail them because they honestly feel that these women are being trafficked. Well, they got a complaint about a brothel. These two dum-dums show up, the 24 and the 26-year-old rookie cops. Let me see. We've got Justin McMillan and Justin Cologne. Those are the two officers, 24 and 26. So I'd have to tell you, they've only been on the job a hot minute, 2 years. They've both been on the job 2 years. Well, they answer the call. They go there. They take the woman's keys that they, found there, so forth and so on. They go back later that night and they assault her. They say they were groping her and God only knows what else they were doing. And now they've been suspended without pay pending the investigation. And let me tell you something. When was the last time you heard two cops did something and they were suspended without pay? Look at the screen. Justin McMillan and Justin Cologne. Justin McMillan and Justin Cologne. Are you surprised? I'm not saying they shouldn't have gotten suspended without pay. But all the brutality that's been going on for the past how many years? When was the last time you heard somebody was suspended without pay? And you two stupidos walk up into your brand new career as police officers and you give it up to some prostitutes because you want to grope and sexually assault. These are the very people who you have been hired to protect, that now you are the ones they need protection from. Are y'all serious? You really thought you were going to get away with that? It was worth giving up your careers? Yo, stupid. Just dummies. Straight dummies. I can't even say nothing else. Just dummies. How dumb could you be? How dumb could you be? You know what? I don't have a whole lot of time before I'm going to be losing Tamika, before I'm going to be losing Viv. So I want to get to, where's Vivian? Is she on? Let's get Tamika up on this screen so we can say good morning to her and talk about these stupid dodos this morning. Good morning, Tamika.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Oh my goodness, girl. Oh, talk about these bunch of dum-dums. So we've got, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good, good, good. Your earrings are so big, your shoulders can't even hold them. But they actually look very nice. They actually look very nice. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. So you've got Dum Dum number one, who's 14 years old, and he gets into some verbal dispute on the school bus and he threatens, he tells the little girl, I'm going to kill you. He goes home, he puts on all black, he puts on the black mask, he gets the gun, he goes to the schoolyard. She asks could she go to the schoolyard after she finished doing whatever she needed to do in the house. He did ask could she go to the schoolyard and play. That's where he found her. And that's where he shot her 4 times. He shot her twice while she was standing, and when she was on the ground, he shot her twice. Now, there's this whole issue with, because they haven't developed, their minds haven't developed, we can't sentence them as adults. What say you?
These youth are getting wiser and wiser and more dangerous as they come along. You know, we have seen many more children. You know, you haven't even reached teenage years, and this is what you do. You know, and I understand the concept of removing that, because as they get older, they understand the errors of their ways. But gosh, you know, so when you shot the first time and you had to have seen blood, you didn't stop. You just kept going. You know, and that's not what I call mental illness. That's demonic. You know, I can't see anything other than that. You literally looked this child in the face and said, I'm gonna kill you. You went home and you got your gear. You changed your entire garment. You know, you put on a black mask, you know, oh my gosh, you know, and if he doesn't serve time, then he needs to look at, you know, videos of maybe, you know, someone who has killed someone and their life and what they've done afterwards. You know, you're going to serve some community service, you know, maybe helping people who have lost a relative that was killed, you know, so you can, I don't want you to just serve time, because unfortunately our prison system only gets you to serve time. I want you to understand what you did. I want you to see the errors of the ways and the families that you've affected. Yes, you didn't take care of that family, but I want you to be able to have to, you know, be in the environment of someone who had to deal with the loss of a relative because of someone who was shot like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to spread you all out today, opposed to giving you all the stories. I want to get everybody on because I'm not going to keep you all. I'm not going to have you all on. Terrence says earrings are fire. Miss Tamika. Go ahead, girl. All righty. Let's get our girl Shantice on here.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm good, thank you. What say you? You know, they say that his brain has not developed, so he cannot be charged, or he should not be charged as an adult. What say you?
I say lock little Michael Myers up. This is how he started. Unfortunately, this evilness, this wickedness starts young. And yes, you know, if you pay attention now to your children, and Pastor Steph, you always say it, big messes were once little messes. You don't wake up at 30 deranged. Right. You were deranged at 3. No one checked you at 3. So at 13, and then at 23, and then now you're 33, you're still deranged. But 1500.0, it just gets 1,000 times worse as each decade passes. This was, he had to have been watching Power, because that's what Ghost did. Ghost would be in his suit and tie, And when Ghost had in his mind, you gonna die, he went to his locker, he put on that black gear, he got on that train, and he went to go kill whoever he had to kill. So he has to have been watching Power, because this is straight. There was a whole lot of forethought. This was premeditated. And for you to make sure you followed up on your promise, and it wasn't enough for you to just shoot at her once, but you walked up on her and made sure you killed her. I mean, it's like always sad because you're only 14 years old, but now this little girl's family has to go on without her. Everyone else who was around in that area now has to be subjected to the memory and the thought of hearing and or seeing you murder someone. This wasn't an accident. And then where'd you get the gun from? So now your whole family has to be interrogated, and your parents should be locked up, because where did you get the gun from? It was probably one of theirs or both of theirs. They didn't make sure it was out of your reach, or they didn't even make sure that you were unaware that there was a gun in the house. Because even if you feel as a parent you need a gun, your 14-year-old does not have to know that you have a gun in the home. Why? Because by default, they're not supposed to be able to get it. It's not like one spouse is saying it to the other, like, listen, babe, I got a gun. In the event something go down and I'm not here, it's in the closet in the third box to the left. No, by default, they should not even know it's in the house. So, yeah, no,
absolutely.
He needs to get as much time as an adult would get, mainly because that was premeditated.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got to check in from AJ. Good morning, AJ. We got to check in from Deacon Diallo. Hey, Deacon Diallo, how are you? We're all well. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Let's talk to our girl Vivian and see what she's got to say. She's got youngins in her possession every day.
Yes.
So let's see what her thought is. Good morning, Viv.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm okay, thank you. Okay. What do you think we're doing? What they should do with this little 14-year-old menace to society?
I think they need to charge him as an adult and give him life. And if they can't give him life, they give him 79 and a half years. So basically he won't be getting out. Because that's not childlike behavior. He does not need to be on the streets. And they need to definitely look into his parents, because as it was said, this is not something that just popped up out of nowhere. He didn't just wake up one day with these types of behaviors and thoughts. And I'm sure if they go back in his history, the teachers have said something, the school has had problems, the parents knew something but ignored it. So they definitely need to be looked into as well.
Absolutely. This is 14 years in the making.
Yep.
Absolutely, ladies. 14 years in the making. Let's see what Pastor KL has got to say this morning about this menace to society. Good morning, Pastor KL.
Good morning. How you doing? I got my earrings on.
I'm looking like, why is the tennis?
What does that have to do with a 14-year-old by himself? He got his earrings on. Wow. Oh, well, needless to say, you're okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing with this menace to society?
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with everybody. If you can't give him life, give him as close to life as you can. Because at this point, at this age, if that's how he's thinking, think about what he's going to think about at 20 and at 30, at 40. You know, back in our days, Stephanie, Pastor Steph, I'm sorry. You know, the kingpin on the street was smart enough to allow the 13-year-olds and the 12-year-olds to sling the drugs, because they know they wasn't going to get that much time. You know, so now these young kids, they know the law better than we know the law. You know, they know if they do something, hey, You can only hold me but so long.
Right.
So they take the chance.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it starts with now with them protecting his name. We can't say his name. Say his name. You're saying her name.
Right.
At 14 years old, you're saying her name in death. And we're gonna protect your name. Yo, mama name, father name, grandmama name, everybody name. I'm sorry. And I'm a grandmother. And if it went past Shawnee's, then I'll be mad. But somebody, everybody. This is horrific. This is horrific. And to think that there is any protection for him is really something that's pretty sad. Because there was no protection for her. None at all. All right, we've got this other situation here with these two dumb rookie cops in Queens. 24 and 26-year-old Justin McMillan and Justin Cologne. Here we go right here, ladies and gentlemen. And they get a call about some prostitution problem in Roosevelt Avenue, where we know that they've been having a problem for quite some time. And they go to answer. They do whatever they need to do while they're there. They leave, and then they go back. They took a second trip back. Wait, I gotta go read these comments in the chat room. We've got Kenny who says, go to jail. Terrence who says, charge as an adult and never see the light of day again. Kenny says, give him 25 years. Serge says, send him to jail. Terrence says, give him 78 years. And then some. And that's what the room has to say. So now let's go back to the dumb cops. They then go back and they sexually assault the sex workers, and they get caught because they didn't kill her, so she talked. Now y'all just got on the job 2 years ago. Now, when was the last time any of you heard, with all of the abuse and the killings, that any of these cops got time of suspension without pay and all this kind of stuff? But these two did. Vivian, dum-dums or what?
Absolutely. And I really wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that they're lowering the requirement to become police officers because there's a shortage of staff. So now they're not requiring as much education as they used to, and they're pretty much just letting anybody in because they need police officers. So I wonder if this has something to do with that, but definitely dummies. 2 years and you really don't have any protection. It's not like you've been able to make any, friends in high places in 2 years. So what did you think was going to happen? You even go back and pay her for her services. You took it upon yourself to sexually assault her like she wasn't going to say anything. So they deserve everything they're about to get.
Oh, goodness gracious. Shantice, 24 and 26 years old. They've both been on the job for 2 years. Too early?
Yeah, this sounds like two friends who said, we should probably be cops. Yeah, we should. All right, let's go do this. And these were things that they were already doing prior to becoming policemen. And probably figuring that there wouldn't be any real consequence because that's just how it goes for most cops, but forgetting that you're on this side of the fence. So there's a slight chance that you may be persecuted for what you do versus if you were on the other side of the fence. And I don't understand. There are a lot of prostitutes who would sleep with cops just because they're cops. Like, it's really the excitement in going after women who don't want it. And especially now that y'all can tag team because y'all doing this together. So I agree. They should definitely be penalized. as much as possible. I don't understand what all the investigation is always about. What is there to investigate? Fire these people, take their money, their pension, and throw them in jail. All this time y'all spending to investigate what? If they said
they have to do the due diligence. You can't just take her word for it. You've got to do, the proper investigating like you would do for anybody else.
Well, these investigations take too long, in my opinion. They just need to hurry up, do what they got to do. So, and I agree with Vivian, because it definitely sounds like the requirements, like you go into the either the halfway house or the programs where you can work your way out of jail, and y'all just like, okay, who wants to do this? And maybe if the powers that be weren't so quick to lay people off for these ignorant reasons, you wouldn't be so short-staffed in the essential worker fields. So it's almost like y'all setting yourselves up for things like this to happen. This is why the requirements are put in place, because you need to be able to stream and screen who are applying for these jobs. So yeah, but they need to get penalized, and quickly.
Absolutely. Pastor KL, dum-dums, what do they need to do with these two?
Yeah, they need to definitely put them in jail and for a very, very long time. When you think of this, these are little boys. They have not grown up yet. You
right.
put too much on the line. First of all, I mean, it might sound crazy, but I don't know that you should put a 22-year-old as a police. I think that's a little early. You have not even grown up. You know what I mean? Now to put a gun in your hand, and make you be more powerful than you think you are.
Right.
So I think that's a little dangerous within itself. Now on the other side, it's just not police that right now no one wants to work. So when you go to an interview, all they do is put a mirror in front of you. If you fog it up, that means you're breathing. If you're breathing, that means I can use you. And that's what they're doing. They're doing the breathing test. As long as you're breathing, you're about it. And unfortunately, you can't do that in that kind of superior power. I need somebody who's doing more than breathing to protect me.
Right. And I agree 100%. These are kids. These are literally kids that are, Tamika says police academy police officers. It's true. They're babies. They're just out of high school. You get out of high school 18, 19 years old. And by the time you're 22, you didn't already, how do you pass a psych evaluation, background check? Oh, you just came out of school. They want to see how many places you've lived. You're still in your mama's house. You ain't been nowhere. So it's way too early. And you've got to get some level of experience. Imagine the two of them walking up in there, like you said, Shantice, two schoolboys looking at prostitutes.
Right.
Probably the fantasy coming true.
Right.
And they start feeling up. You know what I'm saying? And now you are now violating the people you're supposed to be protecting. If these women are being trafficked, you are now violating them even further.
Right.
So you know what? No, it's I agree. It's way too early for them to take on these type of jobs. And you know what? This is what happens when you give big little boys toys, because that's exactly what it was. Some toys in front of them. All right. Before we lose Vivian, I want to talk really quickly about the ways Christians misuse social media. We're talking about the misuse of quite a few things this morning, and we're going to talk about how Christians misuse social media. And Vivian, one of the ways that they say that Christians misuse social media is because they use anonymity as a shield, as a barrier. They're able to hide behind the veil for social media. Would you agree?
Not really. I wouldn't agree, because a lot of the times, if you know the person as a Christian. That's the only way you would know that they are like misusing it. So maybe if they are not, like, they had to have said it once before in order for you to know that they're Christian. But maybe if they're like kind of going back and not making it so obvious that they're Christians, that's the only way I could see them using that as a way to shield themselves and put out whatever information they're putting out there. But you can't be anonymous if people know, where social media is about. You're following people that you know or you've met or through somebody. So you can't really be anonymous on social media unless you're purposely following people that don't know you in order to do it. But I don't really see how that will work out.
Okay. Well, Shatis, they're saying that, they stand behind social media and kind of say and do things that they would not do, let's say, in person. So now I'm a social media hood, a thug, if you will. That's one of the things that they're mentioning.
I believe a few of them do that because it's to keep up with the social media trends, to keep up with the persona. I throw a Bible verse and put it in my bio to show that I'm a Christian, but yet I'm posting pics of me in a bikini, or I'm posting and I'm listening to vulgar lyrics and songs. A lot of it is to keep, especially now that the stories, like Instagram, Facebook, the stories are more popular than the actual posts. So what is everyone else doing in their stories? How many views is everyone else getting in their stories? So it's like I'm trying to hide behind this facade of being able to say, okay, I'm Christian, but my stories, my posts can't really portray that I'm Christian, because Christians don't get followed like that on social media. Who's really checking for Christians on social media? Unless you're someone with a high platform.
Okay. One more before Ian leaves. They say, we'll catch you in a second after KL. They say, Viv, Christians misuse social media by publicly venting instead of doing things in private. Again, this would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Everybody wants to use social media as a form of venting, and instead of just taking it to the person that it needs to be taken to, or going about it in a proper way. People just put their business out on social media as a way of getting feedback, whether it's to see if I'm right about the situation or just to see how people are feeling the situation. I believe that Christians would definitely misuse, whether it's church business or personal business. They would definitely misuse social media in that way. Instead of doing things properly, they'll put it out. And that's just not the way that anybody should be moving, but especially Christians.
All right. So much. Sorry for the short show today, and for your contribution into today's conversation. And we pray you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You as well. Have a good day, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Pastor KL, we're talking about how Christians social media. One of the things we talk about is embracing anonymity as a barrier and a shield. And I'm going to urge that with they use that also for venting instead of just kind of doing it a different way.
Well, people in general, they use social media as a soundboard. They want to be heard, and they want to be seen, and also, I know God, but I don't live for God. You know what I mean? But I can't let you know that I don't live for God. I need you to understand that I know God. I have to put that face on that is about God. Now, if you happen to get into one of my posts where I'm not talking about God, then I got to say, well, I'm still man. I'm still flesh. I still feel. But I know God now. I know God, but I still feel. Every now and then, it just comes out. Well, then you don't know God.
Okay.
You don't live for God. How about that?
Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. They say that Christians misuse social media by seeking public vindication instead of trusting God. Shantice, would you agree?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time? You said seeking
public vindication.
Oh, yes.
Of trusting God.
Yes. I've had to tell someone recently, like, stop trying to generate this audience. Because guess what? Those audience members are not going to be there to help you get out of the mess you just got yourself in. They're here for the craziness. They're here for the shenanigans. They're not here to help you. And I've never understood that. I've had to contact people on the side, like, okay, so you really opened your phone, hit the Facebook icon in your apps, typed out this post, tagged the person. Well, you could have just called or text them directly. Why everybody else got to know what's going on? I was like, so even if they were wrong, you just made yourself look extremely tacky. And as Christians, we look 50 times worse. So yes, there are a lot of Christians. Again, but it's to keep up with the social media facade. Oh, I gotta get on here and let it be known that I'm going through this. No, you don't, because you're just letting people know where your mental health stands. Absolutely.
All righty, Pastor Kale, that they seek public vindication instead of trusting God.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of things we say. A dog that carry a bone the dog that brings a bone is going to carry a bone. You know what I mean? So, meaning that you keep on telling me your story, and then you get mad because I'm talking about your story. Well, you included me in the story,
right?
You letting everybody know about the story, so I know it just as well as you know it because that's all you talking about. If you got an issue with somebody, the Bible says if you have an art with your brother, you go to him. You don't blast them on social media. And a lot of times when you begin to blast folks, you're still a coward because you don't even tell the name of the person you blasted. So the person you blasted don't even know that you're talking about them. So here you are getting all this stuff off your chest, and they still living. They have no clue that you're talking about them.
Absolutely. Hey, Brother Al.
Brother B.
Hey, look, I was wondering where y'all was gonna let me in. I'm standing out here hearing all this good stuff. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, we're talking about how issue social media. So I'm going to go back a little bit. And they refer to, they say they use embrace anonymity as a shield, and they spread let me see.
I'm sorry, Steph. I'm sorry. There's some type of noise blocking. I don't know what that noise is.
Pastor Kale has to mute himself.
Hey, Pastor, put yourself on mute. Okay.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm sorry. So they say, I'm going to merge the two. They say that Christians embrace anonymity as a barrier, and they use that for public venting instead of doing things differently. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I call social media a demon. People are able to hide behind it. They talk about people. I get it all day long here at the school with fights. They did it with the social media. Oh, she's throwing shade. He's throwing shade. And I'm just sitting there looking at them like, wow. Even when I do business, I tell people, don't text me. I'm saying? Call me. Because people can hide behind that. You're a gangster behind that text, but when I see you in person, oh, it's a different story now. So that social media is such a demon. And like you said, you have people who are Christian and people who don't know and know that you're Christian, and you just feel, okay, I can get on here, I might could put a picture, not even put my face. I could just put a picture and then just say whatever I want to say, you know. And you know deep down you shouldn't be doing it. And it's an addiction, you know. It is an addiction, and man, that's and, you know, like it depends on what you use the social media for. Like, you know, I love what you guys doing with your social media. You know, you promoting God, you promoting the shows and stuff like that. That's a good part of it. But the bad part was, as soon as something happened at home, I had a friend do that. She get online and she just tell. I said, and I called her. I said, why are you putting all this stuff on social media? Why are you doing that? How about calling your aunt and saying, look, auntie, you did this and this is how I feel. And
Right.
she had no answer for it. So it's horrible. Horrible.
I never forget, Brother Adam. I had somebody who put just was all out there on social media, and I asked her. I said, "Why does your business have to be out on social media? Why do you need, instead of handling it like you asked, instead of handling it privately, why does your business have to be out on?" And she got mad. She got mad at
She got
me.
mad because she had no answer.
Right. She literally got mad. And I'm like, why? It again, God cautions us in the Bible, consider your source of sound wisdom and counsel. And you getting sound counsel and you getting mad. You don't
Yeah,
want to do anything decent.
right. And you know, people tell me all the time, why you don't post it? Because, you know, when I first got it, you know, a little excited about it, but it's boring to me. So sometimes I may post something if it's positive. And I did a test one day. I said, you know what? I said, I want to see, every time I turn around, especially our post, we post in fights and stuff like. I said, I want to do something. So I put a challenge out there. I said, I challenge everyone out here to put up a positive post. And I said, I'm going to start it off. And I put this young black kid who had this awesome speech. And Pastor Steph, I got no hits. I got no no replies. And I'm like, wow. And you know, every Sunday after church, me and Tamika, we go to this area and feed the homeless. And people ask me all the time, well, why you don't post that up? Why you don't video and show people what you're doing? I said, because I don't need that. All I need is God to see where my heart at and what I'm doing. And people don't know we're doing unless we mention it or somebody saw it. I said, because I don't need all that attention. I'm not doing it for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pastor KL, they say Christians misuse social media because they use it as a false sense of reality. How true is that?
That's very true. You know, on social media, you could be anything you want to be, anybody you want to be. I'm the president. You know, you know what I mean. I may not be the president of the United States, but I just said I'm the president. So as the president, I can say what I want to say. Now you interpret it any way you want to interpret it. You know, listen. In order for someone to lie, you got to believe the lie that you're saying. You got to make the lie convincible so that your audience can believe it. You know, so social media is something serious, man. You could be anything you want to be. You could be Don Juan. You could be the best looking woman. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you ever seen people talking on live how great they are and their house is nasty? You
Oh.
know, so sometimes you're like, why didn't you clean up that garbage behind you before you come up here trying to talk about how great you are? So you the president and you live in a shack. Make it make sense.
Wow.
Or they
God,
take
teach
selfies in a dirty mirror.
You know what? False sense of reality. Is that a false sense of reality? Selfies in a dirty mirror?
Yes, because only a false identity would not have you analyze the fact that your photo is coming out blurry. You can't even see yourself clear enough to take the photo, but you just gotta post this selfie. And it's like, but I remember Pastor, I mentioned it to you the other day. I said, I'm so tired. And this has been something that's been spoken about on social media for a long time now. Stop taking pictures of your food on paper plates. If you are too lazy to wash your dish, then your food should not be on display. Okay? If you don't feel like washing the big dish, put it on a saucer, do something. But it is extremely tacky to see the Dixie plate posted up on your stories. But because everybody else is posting their mac and cheese and fried chicken and collard greens or whatever else, you got to do it too. But you're not thinking about how tacky that looks. Again, especially as a Christian, we should not be thirsty for attention. You know, if you're going to post, make sure it's quality content. Even if you're not a content creator, but still post to where whenever someone sees your photo up in that story headline, they will want to click on it because they know that you're posting something of substance, not you just posting the traffic light because you can. It's like, stop. Like you just show that how lonely you are. Yes.
Okay. Brother Al, Shanti says, putting that picture up there, that plate of food on a Dixie plate is a false sense of reality. Would you agree that Christians misuse social media as a false sense of reality?
Oh yes, yes indeed. Like you done posted that plate of food up, and ain't even your food. You done went out somewhere and went to dinner, and you take it and post up the plate. It ain't even your. And social media, you can be who you want. Like right now, I'm Pastor Steph, y'all. That's not Pastor Steph. She's an imposter. I'm Pastor Steph. but yes, people hide behind it. I sit there and I'm watching, and I'm just like, and I know some friends of mine, and I look at their phone. I'm like, don't over, you ain't do that. My nephew do it all the time. He went out somewhere, and he went out the country, came back. He took a lot of pictures. So every so often, he posted these pictures talking about he out of state. I talked to his mother. His mother like, he at work. And I'm just like, wow, like you really, bro. Like you want attention. The only attention we should be wanting is from our Lord and Savior. That's the attention I want. That's the attention who I want to give, my Lord and Savior. But yeah, he posts up pictures and he home. He home. I called my sister. I said, he out of town again. She said, man, he at work. I was like, wow.
Maybe he's trying to throw off the burglars.
Just
crazy. It's crazy.
They also say that Christians misuse social media as a comparison trap. All of the scenarios that y'all have given is a comparison trap, Pastor KL.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. And a lot of times we want to be better than the Joneses. So if the Joneses is doing a selfie, I got to do a selfie. But the crazy part about it is the attention that you're trying to attract. If you're trying to attract good attention, let's just say from the selfie. If I'm looking at your selfie, I'm looking beyond you and your body. Because now I'm looking at, okay, you cute, but how you live? You know what I mean? Did you just get cute for the selfie? And you really a bum? Because all your background depicts how your life is. So why are you just trying to stand out and shine? Behind you is real dull. And now I know that this is just a facade. So I'm not wasting my time with you.
Absolutely. And people, I love these things because people are not paying attention to this stuff. Comparison traps, Shantice. Christians are falling for this thing. How?
By doing every challenge that's on social media. You got these social media dances, these other challenges, and now the Christians are following along again because it's like, I want my page to look like their page. I want to have as many followers and views and likes as they do. But yet again, you don't know what else they doing. You think they got these follows and views and likes because of this one post or this one story. It's a whole lot of other things they're doing that is not in alignment with what God wants and needs you to do that's getting them this. So, but yet you're trying to compare yourself even to other Christians. Again, just because you got a Bible verse or God first in your Bible does not make you a Christian. I've seen a lot of God first and females bios, but yet they're naked on their page. And I'm like, I'm trying to understand how God is first and you ain't got no bra, no top on. I'm. How is he first? First in what? First in the bed with y'all? Where is he first? But this is just what it is. It's, I could put that. Oh well, yes, I am a Christian. I'm God's child. I'm all okay. Yes, we're all God's creation. We're all, yes, but no, that doesn't. But this is who I'm trying to compete with. First of all, I can't compete with you unless I'm willing to get naked. So there is no comparison if I'm not willing to do the exact same thing you're doing. And who's to say I would still get the same type of feedback? Our bodies are not the same. Again, I don't know who half of these people pay for these follows. You don't know what they're doing, so you're stressing yourself out to be like at so and so, and yet you ultimately really don't know what you have to do to get there.
Absolutely, the comparison trap, brother Al. How do Christians set themselves up for this stuff?
Oh man, trying to be in the mix of things. I was sitting in the background here laughing because I thought about my cousin who's a Christian, and she loves social media, and she loves the sympathy thing. And I remember her. I know that she was sick, and it was the funny thing. So some other people had got some likes or comments because they were sick. People saying feel better and stuff like that. So she actually went to the hospital. This is the funny part. She went to the hospital for a checkup, right? And so now when the doctor left the room, she laid down on the bed, closed her eyes, and took a picture of her like she was unconscious. But here's the funny thing, right? She got her arm stretched out like with the camera, so you can see that her arm is stretched out. And she got her head touched aside, got her eyes closed, and took a picture like she was passed out or something. Somebody took a picture of her. I couldn't stop laughing. I laughed and laughed, and I called her. I said, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't stop laughing because I saw her arm outstretched, taking a picture of herself like this, and she like, and I'm like, you want compassion and sympathy that much, where you taking it that far? I had the hospital gown on and everything, and all you was there doing getting a checkup.
Wow. What kind of people you know, brother Al?
That's my cousin. But you have people who do that. You have people who do that. I have a friend that I won't say friend, an associate. Anything you done, he done it. We laugh at it. We sit there and make up stuff. I told him I went mountain climbing. No doggone well I ain't going no mountain. Yeah. About 2 years ago, man, I did mountain climbing, man. It was crazy up there. I said, yeah. I wrestled a bear the other day. And it's sad that people have to put on that persona to get likes or to get people to like them. It's sad, especially us as Christians. I'll say it again. The only attention we should be worrying about is the attention that we're getting from our Lord and Savior. That's the perfect attention I want.
Absolutely. Pastor KL, they talk about content overload. Are Christians like up in this thing, content overload?
Yeah, it's like the preacher who just became a minister, and he want to preach the whole Bible. He got 12 closes, and every time somebody come in late, he got to start his sermon all over again, in fear that somebody just missed my thunder. Yeah, listen, I see it all the time. And then these are the people who really don't know God. You know what I mean? Because God is not going to have you speak first of all, I say it all the time. When you're preaching, your audience only gets 10% of what you said. They can't deal with all that information. You talking about turn to the Bible, turn to this page, they don't even know where Ecclesiastes is. So by the time they get there, you got a whole nother thought. So they didn't get what you were talking about in Ecclesiastes. Now if you go to, now turn to Revelation. They in Revelation, they know it's at the end. So why you giving out all this information? They're not getting it.
Oh, wow. Shantice, content overload. Are Christians misusing social media through the content overload?
Yes, you got to take a photo of everything. You have to post I be seeing some stuff. It's like, what? We got to know you in the bathroom stall. Why is your phone out in there? See, because a whole lot of other questions come to mind that you're not going to want me to ask. So, well, why? Why do we have to know it's your bathroom break? It's your coffee break. Do we get to see you get fired? That's the type of content we want to see. Okay, no, you ain't gonna post that. But yeah, it's just too much. Again, it's because the world has you feeling like I have to post every second to be relevant. I have to show what I'm doing, and you ain't about nothing. I've never okay. Think about, and I always compared it to like reality shows. When you watch reality shows, you don't ever see the A-list celebrities do reality shows. It's always the has-beens, the people from the 80s who ain't got no more teeth because they done smoked it up, or the people who got dropped from the labels, and
right,
all.
the ones who
Listen,
are trying to come up.
Right, or people who are brand new artists or old artists who, you know, they want to show their journey. Like, okay, my prom is over, but I still get to do shows and all that. And it's no shade to where anyone is in their journey, because listen, it's life. It is what it is. Everybody has their peak. Everyone has their downfalls. And because life is the way life is, a lot of times we'll have more down than up, or at least that's how it appears. So it's no shade to that. But you will never see like Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Rihanna. Right. Those A-list celebrities, they don't have time for a reality show. They're doing too much. Their downtime really needs to be downtime. They don't have time for that. That's how we need to function, especially as Christians. God has given us too much to do in our own personal lives, as well as serve others, to be posting the curb I just stepped off of, the street I just crossed, the train I just got on. It's just like, come on. We have to stop falling for the okie doke that unless I post every second, I'm not relevant.
All right. Brother Al, content overload. Are Christians guilty of this?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, I didn't know who the person was, but sometimes I just strolled through to be nosy and look, and I saw this lady, first lady, and oh my God, she posted so much stuff, and I'm sitting there like, wow, you know. She posted, I'm in the store, and she posted, oh, I bought this. This look cute. Oh, I'm sitting here eating lunch. Look what I'm eating for lunch. Oh, my kids are here and there. Look at this here. Oh, I bought a brand new house. Look at my, you know. And I'm just like, wow. Why you have to give everybody your business, you know, and it's like it's just crazy to me. I just sit there, I'll be looking at the stuff and just shaking my head. I'm just like, what is wrong with these people? Like you want to be, you know, that known, or you want everybody to you know, some people thrive for the likes. You know, oh, I got 16,000 likes. I got 150,000 likes. I'm like, yeah, that's 150,000 people who know your business, and there's some scammers out there too. Oh, you on vacation? Where you say you live at again? Okay, cool, no problem. You come back, that brand new living room set is gone.
Right.
No, it's true. You're letting everything
Yeah,
out. Letting everything
yeah.
out. Wow. Thank you, my due time crew. As I always say, for coming through big time. Thank you. And sorry for the delay today, but we pray you have a blessed day.
Oh yeah, you do the same.
Well, you as well.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Wow. We talk about, social media and Christian people. And I remember speaking to some people who were, when social media first came out. I wasn't a part of it. There was no reason for me to be a part of it. And then after a while, I kind of jumped on board because I used it to kind of reconnect with some old classmates and, family that I hadn't spoken to in a long time. And, when I would, and that's the only thing I would ever go on for. I wasn't one for really posting or conversing through social media. And when God kind of put me into the ministry, social media was a huge, huge friend of mine. And, I would talk to people and ask them, do you use social media? And I guess they thought that I was just asking just to be asking. And I was like, no, I'm not just asking to be asking. I'm asking because I'm posting and, I'll check you out. I don't mind, looking. I don't really have much time to do so, but I'll check you out. And it's like, oh no, I don't have social media because there's just a bunch of nonsense and, it's nothing but a bunch of trouble. And all people do on social media is fight. And I have to tell you, I don't know about that life. I don't know about that life. I have seen many a fight go on social media. When the rare times that I have to scroll. And, I have 2 social media pages. I have Stephanie Griffin, and that's where I have like everybody, all the people that I've connected with and things like that over the years, classmates and things like that. And then I have Coach for Christian Life, which is specifically dedicated for the ministry. I do not have personal friends on there or family unless they are Christian people, because your content is so much different. Like Shanti said, I've seen people naked, posting all kinds of fights and things like that. And I'm saying to myself, I need to connect with people who are really going to push God, who are going to be in this fight for lives with me. And thanks to social media, I've said it to you a million times, I have my Pastor Kim, I have my elder Nitisha, I have so many different individuals. I have my Pastor Rob. I have like a list of people that, we connect for God. And that's the only thing we really connect for. And we help one another, in this ministerial walk. And, thus this whole theory of, well, I don't have social media because, these people are, are always fighting and it's all negative. Then you know what? Check your people. Because I do have, some people on social media on Coach for Christian Life. I almost never go on Stephanie Griffin because, that's all I really have a chance to do is ministry. But for social media, to be my vehicle for the ministry is so essential for me, because I don't go out, like that. We do, some outings, but I don't really go very many places. So by me being on social media, I've been able to get so much from, social media. But I do see all of the things that we just got finished talking about, people who are, venting and, even in my Coach for Christian Life, friends, Facebook friends, and, people who got all of this, stuff going on that isn't as positive. And when I say positive, they're not looking at it as negative, but they've got to put this persona out there because it's important to them. And I give God thanks, because that's not my thing. I go on to post. I'll post maybe once in a while. I'll go on because I'm trying to find someone, let's say for our Therapeutic Thursday, I'll try to find authors, or for our relationship clinic, I'll find couples. That's how I found Pastor Brendan, Pastor Vinny. Oh my gosh, my buddies in the Lord. I found them on social media. When I tell you my heart belongs to Pastor Kim and Elder Nitisha, these are people I found on social media. I met Elder Nitisha's husband, and I just saw her on constantly, and I just decided to, reach out to her. But, social media we also have to keep in mind that there are people who go through things. They go through identity crisis, they go through self-esteem issues and things like that. And we have to keep one another prayed up, because as much as we can help one another, we can also hinder one another. So we want to make sure that we're on the right side of the fence. Not that we're perfect, because we're never going to be perfect, but to make sure that we are always doing what God wants us to do, that we will never live a life that will hinder others. And some of the stuff that we do, we are actually hindering other people from doing what God needs for us to do and what God needs for them to do. Again, like Brother Al said, reach out to your people and, try to encourage them and ask them, hey, what's going on? Is that something that you really want to do? Because there are some people that you can pull their little coattail and they'll snap out of it, because they'll realize that, what's going on is not necessarily what God wants for me, from me, in me, or about me. So, it's our responsibility to ring that alarm, ring the bell, and be a blessing to other people. And we can be a blessing in so many ways. And that social media thing can be a blessing. That's how we reach the world. That's how we reach the world. And you can meet the bad ones, and you can definitely meet the good ones that can be a blessing to your life. But first, you must be a blessing. And that needs to be your goal. Be a blessing. Be a blessing to everyone you come across. And you watch how God blesses your life. Okay? All right. Again, I apologize for the delay today. We had an emergency that we had to make sure, that we were clear of, and giving God thanks that He takes care of it all at all times. And we want to again give a shout out to all of the birthday people today. We also want to give a shout out to our girl Debbie Creighton. Today's her birthday as well. Man, when It's Due Time with Pastor Steph just got started, Debbie was the one who really, really, really helped push us. As a matter of fact, Debbie was the one who named It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. So if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be saying that. Once she said it, it just rolled straight off my tongue. And I have not had a reason to stop saying it yet. God bless you, Debbie. God bless you, Terrence. God bless you, Pastor Vinny, and anyone else out there with a birthday. We give God thanks for you. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew for always coming through big time. Thank you for hanging out with us today and helping us do what we do and keep that chat room live. Thank you for being right there when we were ready to start late. That's a real Due Time viewer. We love you so much. Please do not miss this opportunity to give Christ your life right now. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship in the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Until tomorrow, God spares, where it's Freestyle Friday and we get to do whatever it is we want to do. It's the end of the week and we talk to the guys on Friday. Until then, I love you.